Good morning and thanks for watching the Market Day Report. I'm Janet Atkinson. Communicating about food and agriculture from the farm perspective can be a challenge, but some in the industry are looking at new mediums, especially to reach the young millennial audiences. RFD-TV's Sarah Muck has more.
Communicating agriculture to a general population is always a challenge here in the farm and ag community, but the folks at Croplife have some plans to make that a little bit easier. We're joined here by Sarah Macedo. She is the manager of social media at Croplife America. Sarah, could you just give us a little overview of what you folks are doing at Croplife to communicate about agriculture?
Absolutely. So we are working with Pop Agriculture, which is our premier podcast that we're trying to message to the general population a lot of those topics that people have questions about, such as what does organic really mean? Should I be buying local all the time? What does buying local actually mean? And we're doing a great job of getting those messages out. They're about 10 to 15 minutes each, so they're really bite-sized and a lot of information that's easily digestible.
What put this project kind of on your priorities?
Communicating to the general public has always been one of our main focuses. Talking about pesticides is not easy to do, even if you do work in the industry. So we wanted to give people, and especially our member company employees, those tools in which to talk about it in a human way, not getting too far into the science where you lose people very quickly. So that's where we came up with the podcast idea, and Steve Savage, who is a plant pathologist out of California, is the one who hosts the podcast and writes all of the material.
Could you talk a little bit about what else you guys are doing?
Absolutely. So the other campaign that we're really ramping up is our Give a Crop campaign that you can see back there. And that's #GiveACrop. We wanted to speak with people, again, in a way that was kind of new, add some humor to the conversation, because we think that's definitely missing when people talk about agriculture. It's a lot of emotion from both sides, from both, the production side and from consumers. So we wanted to kind of create a space where people could come to a common ground and kind of strip away the emotion and just kind of talk about what it is that farmers do and how they get food to your plate 3 times a day, every day of the year.
There's many farmers on Twitter. I think that's one of the main places that farmers communicate, not just with each other, but also with kind of the folks that are on the other end of the food chain. Any kind of rules of thumb about communicating with people who might not be as familiar with agriculture?
Sure, absolutely. If they're starting on social media, Twitter is a great way to start because, it's 280 characters and you can shoot it off and get it really done quickly. My best advice on any of the platforms would be to be authentic, to speak as a human. Don't get too jargony, don't get into too much of the weeds about the science, because that's where you tend to lose people. Start off really basic, be human, and just talk about what you care about, because when you care about it, that comes through whatever you're talking about and makes people a lot more engaged and interested.
Absolutely. Well, a lot to chew on there. Again, we're joined by Sarah Macedo. She is the manager of social media at Croplife America and an expert on communicating those ideas to your non-farm friends and family. We'll have more updates for you throughout the morning from here in Washington. Until then, back to you in the studio.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Well, to listen to the Pop Agriculture podcast, you can visit popagriculture.com or search for Pop Agriculture on iTunes or your smartphone's native podcast app.